For this example, choose symmetry group PG, the one I called this way, that way. It's based on two parallel glide reflections, either horizontal pairs or vertical pairs of glides, two different glides. In Kaleido Paint, these are indicated as a dashed line. I've added a dot to get us started, an indication of where line 1 must start and end. You can do the same on your iPad, follow along, and we can simply delete the dot afterwards. It was created a few months ago before the latest version of Kaleido Paint, but this should not be an issue. Part 1 of the magic sentence is, link the same spot, the dot, further along the same glide reflection with a wandering line. Then link that first line to a place across the second glide reflection, anywhere on the other instance of line 1. Not necessarily the first dot, but in this case we use dot to get started. This stage of the drawing is the fun part, intuitive exercise, trying to imagine a shape that fits inside. You might already see it. You may already have started with a topic in mind, and this influenced the direction of your lines. Whichever way you approach tessellations, that is the best way for you. Here I've simply changed the thickness of the two lines, those two strokes that will encompass the complete perimeter of the shape. The inside detail lines can be thinner. This is done simply to enhance the drawing and make it easier for the viewer. We can at this point turn off the grid. It just gets in the way after a while. Bear in mind, these were done in the older version of Kaleido Paint. The newer version has this menu on the bottom right instead. I've circled issue number 1 that I want to resolve, an awkward paw placement. By having this back paw kick forward, see the fine line I sketched over top the perimeter? Not only does he seem more natural, it's also opened up a space between the legs. As I've said before, there's two sides to the line. You need to watch either side to see what happens when you tweak your lines. We might be able to add a tail as well as tweak the sharpness of the elbow, the thickness of that leg and the other elbow. It's a process of give and take, both sides taken into account. We fill up the spaces, a bit of trial and error. Whoever invented the undo key is my hero. This is why some people call tessellations nested shapes. We could slip in some kind of tail in there, a twirly tail. And fix the elbow a bit more too, tweaking, always tweaking. What is taken away from one side of the line is added to the other side. Walking the razor's edge, as they say. One side affects the other side. Like a sand dune, over time, the apex moves back and forth with the wind. The farthest front paw still feels weird. That's one sagging tricep. We're almost there. Issue number 3 to resolve. Maybe instead of a twirl at the tip of the tail, we make it go into that nook of space under the far elbow. Like so. Oh, yes. Ah, now it's working out well. By the inside details, you can tell now in what month and year this was created, by the bandana colors and the peace sign. I also twisted the arm swinging back so we could see the paw pads. I did the recoloring in Photoshop by using the selection tool to select every other dog along one of the lines. Just to get a bit of separation, I used 4 different colors to be able to see the different instances of these dancing dogs. Maybe it would look better with a bit more contrast in those 2 browns. Always testing and tweaking for best results in the final print. 2 colors would have worked as well, but it would have looked like 2 columns of color. Your choice. A single extract of the dancing dog character, recapping the magic sentence, link the same spot on a glide, further along the same glide with a wandering line. Then link with the second line, line 1 to line 1, anywhere to anywhere, but it's got to be across the second glide. In the next video, we will tackle an MC Escher drawing.